In this video, I'll replace some suspension components and finally eliminate the annoying knock that I was getting in my 07 BMW X5. Just got off work a little bit ago. I'm gonna see if I can get some things done on the X5. I'm still getting a clunk on the driver's side when I hit a bump. I'm gonna see if replacing some components that I haven't replaced yet help. So the part I'm going to be replacing is this right here, and it's only connected in two spots, which is up here and down here. And it seems like an 18 millimeter will remove that nut. It's also an 18 millimeter on the other side. So it's working. It's coming out. And I'm thankful again that this is not a northern car, because I have not encountered hardly any rust or stuck bolts or anything on this thing. If I had my ratcheting riches, this would be short work. It looks like it's just going to be easier to go ahead and take this off. This is not even what I want to take off. It is actually this thing, which is a lot bigger. Let's see, is a 19 a good enough fit to hold it while I back it out? It is. The higher you go in bolt and nut sizes, the closer fits each one of them gets, because each increment is such a smaller percentage of the overall bolt width. You know what I mean? And the nut is off. Let's see if the bolt comes out easily. And it does not want to. Let's see if I can persuade it. Yes, I can persuade it with a wrench. Come on, bolt. Finally got it out. So let's see, does this, oh, this moves free now. So we'll see if this comes out, and it doesn't look like it wants to come out easily. I definitely need a bigger hammer, but maybe the spot to hit is right here. I'm gonna try that. It does not look like it wants to move. Maybe the weight of the vehicle will do it. No go. Where is my big hammer when I need it? I know where it is, it's at home. But now that I look at this, these bushings in here look fantastic. I know with the wheel in the car, it's a different story, but usually when I have some knocking because of a bushing, you look at the bushing and you can tell. All right, let's see. Does a bigger hammer solve the issue? Absolutely does. If I would have had this from the get-go, this thing would be replaced already. This bushing on this side does not look bad. And yeah, this is a sanity check to make sure that the new one looks like the old one. But yeah, this, I mean, it doesn't look deteriorated. Or maybe it is a little deteriorated. But anyway, the new one's going on because I have it. And I didn't bring the socket for the new nut, so I'm going to use the old one until I get it back to the house, or I get the socket over here. Because the new one did come with this nice new nut. Oh damn, that's a lot tighter fit than the old one. And now this should have weight on it when I tighten it. And now it does have the weight of the car on it. All right, I think that's everything over here. Another annoyance this car has is this. This needs to be replaced. For now, I'm gonna use these vice grips. Good enough, it's holding. So now it is time to replace the battery. Picked up a new one today at the AutoZone. This car has a battery drain that I am going to have to address at some point, but that is not in the cards for today. almost forgot the little vent. So there's a hole over here that this tube goes out of, if I remember correctly. All right, that's on there solid. Let's go crank it up for the first time, and it seems like a month. I'm just now realizing this tray slash battery cover thing that's underneath the trunk actually has holes that mount it so that it stays in place. I gotta vacuum this up. But anyway, I'm learning a lot about this car. See if it comes alive. All right. So I've driven less than a mile and the knock is still there. So now I'm gonna move up the chain. I'm gonna look at everything else, you know, the shock and the upper control arm, if BMW calls it that, and see what else could be causing it. Other than that, the car drives perfectly. So the last suspension arm I replaced did not fix the knock. I did a bit of research that said that there's a bushing on top of this strut tower that may be the issue. I'm gonna remove this and see if I can get to it. This needs to be released. Did that do it for me? Yes, it does. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove this entire thing because I gotta remove the other section as well. And unfortunately for me, this wasn't even fastened in anymore. Even though I tried to use this, the mount points are gone. And it looks like the bushing that sits underneath that disc or plate right there is completely deteriorated. It is gone. I'm gonna take that plate off and see what we're working with. I don't have the parts to replace it tonight, but I'm gonna go ahead and order some. Yeah, here we go, it's coming. I have broken an Allen wrench doing something similar, or an Allen bit, so I hit it with a little peanut butter blaster. All right, that's off. And there is supposed to be a bushing in there, but I don't see anything. Yep, so I wonder what the other side looks like. But anyway, I'll be back once I have something to replace it with. So my bushings arrived from Beamer World, so I'm gonna go ahead, jack the car up, and get ready to install them. So when I jacked the car up, the weight of the vehicle was released and the threaded rod that came up through here fell down. So that's gonna make it easier for us to replace the one that's under here, because there it is right there. And it is still somewhat intact, but definitely not like the other one. At this point, I thought it was possible to replace both of these bushings without removing the shock from the vehicle. I gave it a shot, but I could not get it to work. I still believe that someone somewhere has figured this out. So if you've seen somebody do this without taking the shock out, let me know. These are the new ones, and that's the model number there. I ordered them from Beamer World, and they're a lot more expensive than the old ones, but guess what? Lifetime warranty. And yeah, this foam definitely is not as up to the task as these will be. And now I just got to figure out which orientation. On the side of the box they came in was a QR code, and on that page there's a link to a PDF. And yeah, so the instructions are pretty straightforward. And there is a washer up here that I want to see if I can get out so that I can clean it off a little bit. I mean, I could just throw them in, but since I'm down here, I might as well. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it in and do the best I can with cleaning it. Thankfully, whatever that little washer was made of, that little foam one, it's coming off nice and easy. I actually think I'll be able to get the washer out and clean it. Yeah, it'll come out. Yeah, so this lip here gets captured by this and gets held in. So this is the top of that washer. And I'm glad I took it out because now I can get all this off. Shout out to the aftermarket for making better products. And I don't know what you call this bushing, but it is on its way out too. I don't have it, but now that I know it's so easy to get to it, I may look into replacing this, especially if I continue to have the knock. All right, that's not pretty, but it's smooth. No more material is coming off. No more of the old bushing remains. Yeah, the new one will go like this. So as far as I'm concerned, it was not absolutely necessary to take this off and clean it, but since I was down here, so I'm gonna put it back on and make sure the sleeve recaptures it, which I hope is easy. And it is not straightforward and easy. So if you're watching this video to do this on your car, don't bother. Just clean it while it's on there. You can get in there good enough, especially if you use a blade or something. So I got it back on, and now I'm gonna fit the new bushing right on top, just like that. It goes like that, and the little indentation will go over that there. So now I'm gonna jack the suspension back up, making sure that I can see it and guide everything back in. I really wanted this to work, but it didn't. This would have turned replacing the bushings into like a 10-minute job. So it's not lining up, so let me go see what I can do about that. Ended up having to take the whole assembly out. So I had to disconnect these and pull them out of the way. And these two. It's not letting me squeeze the tab. There's so much dirt in it. How do you get so much sand in there? Maybe the beach? Now it'll come out. Then I could remove the whole assembly. I made it harder on myself trying to be clever. Just leave the whole strut assembly together and take it out as one piece. It actually comes out with not too much trouble. I'm pretty sure this is not advised, but I put a chisel in here to spread these apart a bit so that I could finally knock that out. Ugh. And there was all kind of grit in there. Ew. What in the... Yeah, this is the part that you shouldn't have to do. And the little pinch separator actually does work on this lower part of the shock, so hopefully I can get it out. See how it's free to move? So I went up top and removed the 3 bolts holding the top mount in to see if that gives me any more freedom. I think it does. So I got that out, and I'll be able to clean this up really good. So that's where the top one lived, and that's where the bottom bushing lived. All right, so now do I have room to take this out? It's almost free. So I think I got it free. Finally. I'm gonna call it quits for tonight. I'm gonna see if I can reassemble this with the new bushings before I go to bed. I will sleep a lot better. At this point, I was kicking myself again. I should never have removed that nut with the assembly still on the car. It just made things more difficult. And I do not like these spring compressors. So I tried another type. Let's see, is that enough? Looks like enough. I don't know. This might work. I'm thinking this is the ticket right here. There we go. See, with the right tool, things are easy. So flat side out goes on. Man, oh man. Get out of there. That was a lot easier than what I was doing before. So this tool might be worth it to keep. $217 rental, but that was 5-10 minutes. And of course, this helped. Now the question is, did I compress it enough to reinstall everything? So let's get this on till it's bottomed out. So I'm gonna position the coilover and then see if I can get the lower little fork on. Yeah, let's see if I can get the fork on and then jack it up as a whole assembly. So there is room to get the lower fork in and position the mount. So I'm gonna see if I can get this screw in. There we go. Yeah. With the right tool, I would have been done with both sides by now. So now from down here, I can jack it up and guide the top mount into the holes nice and easy. Beautiful. So that makes doing this very easy. And now I can put this back in, and hopefully this will go in easily, but it doesn't look like it will. I have to jack it up. Oh, there we go. Ooh. You know how you can tell you've had a long week at work? You forget how you got it out in the first place. So I'm gonna see if this helps. I don't know what it was, but I think I'm in there. Who knows, maybe I just had to walk away for a second. Yep, maybe I just had to walk away. But let me put this back in. So that's all the nuts and bolts fastened. Yeah, so I just gotta reconnect all this stuff. And my context clues are the little brackets. This one lives here, and these go back to there. So these must go there, and those must go there. And from the looks of things, they don't let you plug them in wrong. I feel like those guys are sorted. So the big black one goes here, and the teal one goes there. And they look at home in their little cubby hole. All right. So now the weight of the car is on this side. I've jacked it up off of the jack stand. With the jack stand still in place, now I gotta tighten everything down. And even though I tried the same trick on the other side, it went a lot smoother. Goodness gracious. As you can see, I'm trying yet a third type of spring compressor, and this was by far my favorite. It worked flawlessly, as you'll see in a second. I remember myself physically the most.
As well, like, oh, for sure, like, he's feeling that's a second. Nothing happened. Drawings that fire together, wire together.
I don't know if that's all the way down, but I am done. Ha! So, this is the one that made it easy and safe. I didn't feel like it was sketchy.
Just like, if you could have a superpower, because, again, unfortunately, you pulled away thoughts with the people who matter most. So, these are just a couple of things.
I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't work out. And these are the upper control arm threads. This is the bolt for it, and they're dirty. Thankfully, I have a thread chaser that fits it, so I'm gonna see if I can clean it up a little. Look at everything that's coming out. This is the threads that's cleaned, threads that have not yet been cleaned. All this came off of these threads. That's crazy. The camera wasn't even on, but I just squeezed it and it slid all the way to the bottom. So let's see if this goes in. Fabulous.
And I taught these kids that, for us, like, especially exactly what touches us. All right, now we do, all right, guys, we're really taking something outside of our, part of our human tissue. Nice physical touch, so that love language we put out there. The relationship context, and something like this in his heart.
Of course, I'm going to tighten this while I do have load on this wheel.
And fat loss, that is another modes of repeated activity. A lot of times people think it's your mechanism. Now, of course, sodium, potassium, and magnesium to up for 60 minutes. And coffee, and then I start pulling glycogen from the bloodstream.
You want to optimize this going on. And so in the shot, what is that? I am very pleased to report that after replacing the strut mount bushings, the knock is gone. This vehicle still needs a good bit of work, and if you would like to follow along as I do it, hit subscribe. If you would like to see the things that I have already done to it, check out the playlist. Thanks for watching. Take care.